Welcome to another Ironman episode. This one will mostly be covering over farming as I was gone when Heads Oasis was released, which has some powerful upgrades, which include the Penance Powder, which is pretty much unlimited prayer, and you're able to use any aura. So you could use like Majorath, Dark Magic, Vampirism aura, so that you're able to get some extra damage while still maintaining pretty much unlimited prayer. Also, thanks to the Heads Oasis, you're able to plant up to 10 seeds per herb patch, which will be very helpful for an Ironman account so that I'm able to make overloads, and then I'll be able to use those overloads for any type of boss. With that, let the episode begin. Decided to work on the Witch Doctor outfit, which I suggest no one to do. I wasted probably about 3 or 4 hours doing this as it was very, very painful to do. Now, there is a little bit fun fact. You can only catch the camouflage, diseased, and shadow Jadinkos within herbivore habitat. The other 7 you are able to catch on Anachronia, which I have highlighted. Keep in mind that the ones on yellow, you will need to have the Juju Hunter potions, which you will be able to use on a nearby bush patch. You're actually able to check which Jadinkos you have caught in the adventures, minigames, and Jadinko hunting, in which case you'll be able to know as there is a little check mark. And doing so for that week, Papa Mambo will say, "Oh, congratulations, come back to him for a reward." When you do, well, when you catch just the 10 regular Jadinkos, he will give you either the legs or the plate body, which this is considered a weekly. Once you have caught the 3 God Jadinkos, which is, again, very painful, this is caught on the Eastern Island, you'll be able to get this Witch Doctor mask, which provides unlimited teleports to the herbivore habitat, which is good for the nearby herb patches, in which players will be able to make the Juju farming potion that does increase your herbs gained by 33% and it lasts 6 minutes, so you will need 1 dose per run. The next important item would have to be the Amulet of Nature, which you'll actually need to grow your own magic tree and dig up the roots. With this root, you will actually need to make your way to any spinning wheel, so the one in Shear's Village works perfectly fine. Once you have this magic string, you'll want to go to any furnace with an uncut emerald, cut it, and you'll be making an emerald amulet. Use the string on the amulet and do the level 2 enchantment. The best herb patch would have to be Port Phasmatis, since you have to run the most just to get here, and you'll want to use the amulet on the allotment patch. Afterwards, it will provide unlimited teleports to that specific tile that you tuned it to. Next item, I did a lot of manure farming at Ordoin Farm with enough fragments to make the master farming outfit, which does increase your produce chance, so it gets extra herbs. And speaking of herbs, I did do a herb run, and I was able to buy the first power up tier, which once you do harvest your rakes or whatever, you are able to right click that herb patch, configure, and then you're able to put the maximum amount of seeds that you do have, which will increase on average the herbs you do get. But remember to either use compost, super compost, or ultra compost to increase getting herbs even more, along with having the Juju farming potion just for those extra herbs, as it's painful for an iron account. Another important grind would have to be killing aberrant spectros with a nose peg, otherwise your stats will be drained dramatically. Now, to get here, it's pretty much at the Polybonich well, and these have 3 very special drops, and that will have to be the Fellstock seeds, which pair together as they drop Marcello mushrooms, and the Lava Battle Staff. This battle staff provides unlimited fire and water runes. Oddly enough, it only took me 16 kills to get this bad boy, in which case it will make using the crystal mask on the ancient spellbook a lot easier, since it will save runes. Speaking of this staff and thieving, there is one important archaeology relic, and that would have to be the Sticky Fingers which increases the speed that you auto pickpocket by 50%. And remember, you want to use Crystal Mask, a Light Form, and probably Cheeky Monkey if you do have it. These have a very, very rare chance of dropping a mystical sand seed, which provides unlimited teleports to the desert in Kahet, which is very quickly next to a herb patch. And keep in mind, these require a lot, and I mean a lot of buffs, so that you're able to have 100% success rate. And again, I was able to get the seed at 134 pickpockets. I was expecting this seed to probably take like 5, 6, or maybe even 10 hours, which, I mean, was even better for me. I was able to do her runs even quicker. It feels like they massively increased the rate at which the ghostly impling spawn versus the zombie. Normally, it was probably 50-50, but I've found more zombies than ever. But this week, for whatever reason, while I was doing my Martella mushrooms both in the morning and at night to passively get the prayer renewal potions, which is needed for overloads, I have found a ton of these bad boys. Sometimes I found two pretty much in the same exact world, probably about 30, 40 tiles off, which was pretty interesting. And since I've been here so much, I've found pretty much where their yellow dots are supposed to be. So if there is a new yellow dot, I will know that is pretty much a implant. I did, however, accidentally loot one, in which case, don't worry, I will be trying to collect 30 of them to open later on for one moonstone. After collecting all those implings, decided to work on the Keela's row task, which she's like, okay, so you want to unlock the tier 70 tank armor? You'll need to defeat the Calphite King 5 times, and you will also have to kill the giant mole 5 times. Keep in mind, you are able to do this in normal mode instead of hard mode to make it an easier time. And the mole fight was very, very annoying because it kept going from one corner to the next. But once I was able to get those 10 kills pretty much, I unlocked the ability to make the tier 70 tank armor, which does have some nice HP boost while you are bonfiring in Spa. And then I was like, you know what? Time for another questing spree. And I was like, I could probably do the Daughter of Chaos quest, which is in the wilderness, but don't worry, it is safe. And there is a very interesting and cool fight, which I would hope they bring into some future boss fights or something, so that it's easier for players like, okay, I only need to press 3 buttons to learn pretty much like the evolution of combat, which could be potential for probably new players because the combat system is extremely difficult, as there is probably about 40 or 50 different abilities. But if they were able to reduce that to 3 and then slowly introduce it, then players would be able to have a little bit more enjoyment. Now, there was one thing I had to do, and that was to kill 144 demons, in which case I was like, I'm going to kill the Abyssal Demon since I do need Pure Essence, and while doing that, I did pick up myself the Absol Whip. Then I continued doing it, and I did unlock the Zen Pet, which is at 15,000 rune score. I was like, okay, perfect. I started busting my way through the Civil Wars, which they have a little nice passive, in which case you get 65% damage reduction when you're fighting Zamarok. You'll get a nice 14% damage reduction in the wilderness, while also dealing 9% damage to monsters within the wilderness, along with having your adrenaline no longer draining outside of combat. So let's say you're going to the Adrenaline Crystal in PVM Hub. You wait 10 seconds, you're outside of combat. Wherever your adrenaline was will be maintained at that. But do keep in mind there is one important setting, and that is if you go to settings, combat mode, action bar, the automatically trigger regenerate, that will use your adrenaline regardless, and then it'll just restore you. Then I did ask a friend to leech a Zamrock kill because it was needed for the Aftermath quest, and I did get a nice bonus 1 mil in a high alch relic, which did complete me the Aftermath quest. Make your way to Herbal Habitat, in which case you're able to trade Papa Mambo. You want to buy all the Eugene herbs, which he only sells 5 daily, but you're able to plant these herbs south to the southeast corner right here, in which case once you do harvest them, one herb will give you 3 doses, and for each herb run you do, you will use 1 dose. Also, while you are at Mumbo, you will want to buy those Marcella plants. Pretty much buy about 7 of those, as they will be hunter traps. And you want to buy the Juju vials that are in packs, in which case you'll get 5,000. You only need 5,000, as this will last pretty much forever. Then, with those hunter traps, make your way north of the Anacronia lodestone, and we will be catching the igneous Jadinkos, which do give you 1 marble vine per Jadinko. So pretty much 1 herb, 1 vial, and 1 vine will make 1 3-dose Juju farming potion, which does have a 33% chance of increasing harvest from herbs. Combine all the items together and decant them at war. Then for your herb run, you'll just want to activate your Green Fingers aura and drink the Juju, in which case remember to go to all 7 of the herb patches, although there is technically 8, but the other one is on Trollheim, and that would have to have access to the Lunar Spellbook, and I believe probably about the 5th spell unlocked from Livid Farm. But pretty much you can avoid doing that, as 7 herb patches is enough. Now, the Wilderness one is a little bit different, because if you want, you are able to plant Bloodwood seeds there. Just remember to use Super Compost or Ultra Compost. Although I do suggest you to first buy Power Plant 1, 2, and 3, and then the Bountiful Harvest, as you will need a lot, and I mean a lot, of Primal Abstract for the future account. And then once your herb run is complete, just wait an hour and 30 minutes to do it all over again.